Peace, everybody. I am the host and mama of the Confession Corner, and we are here at Colorful Convo with B and Vena. Go ahead. So we're gonna go into our conversation depicting off of our paintings and just primarily what peace means to us, because that is the topic, that is the flow of the conversation. And I just want to ask everybody, we have very, very much delightful guests here painting with us today. So we're just going to get some input from them. We're going to make sure that we are open-minded, we are vulnerable, and we are just flowing throughout the conversation. Is that all right with y'all? All right, cool. So everyone has a dry erase paddle. I don't know if everyone has a dry erase marker on them, but if so, I wanted to ask the question, what does peace look like to you? Is it more so internal or external? So on your paddle, write down internal or external, and then when we're ready, you're just going to hold it up. If you have a dry erase marker, just ask your neighbor, can I borrow one, please?
She looks so good with her red nut. I'm gonna count it down.
Yeah, we're gonna give you like a couple of seconds, 30 seconds. Internal or external? All right. We're gonna count down 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, we got one in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 internals. Okay, we got both. We got one external, and I think we have another intern in, I think. Okay. So who would like to go first to, explain why they think their piece comes from internal or external? Kayla? Okay.
Not me confused on the board and raise my hand first. That's what. Hello, I'm Kayla. I think my answer is in. I think that's weird. Anyway, I said in because I feel like I can be in very chaotic situations and still be at peace. It kind of just depends on where I am in my head. Like my house look crazy right now. I had company come over last night and I let them know. I was like, my living quarters look crazy. But I was at peace. I was at peace this morning. And we out here with the water and the grass and bugs is flying and it's fucking with my peace a little bit. But you know what? I think this is supposed to be the place that you're supposed to be the most peaceful, which I am. Thank y'all for the space.
Of course.
But I still think it's like an internal thing. Like internally, am I okay with the bugs? It's like, yeah, I'm cool. It'll be all right. I'm gonna go take a bath later. So yeah.
Yeah, as you should. Thank you so much for that.
I'm gonna go take a bath.
Thank you, Kayla. Anybody wants to go next to describe the internal, external? No one wants to go next. What? Kofi, go ahead. Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kofi. I said internal. Honestly, at first I was going to say both, but I'll go with what I wrote down. I wrote internal because I realized that, you have to be intentional. Like peace is intentional. At least that's what I think. So for something to be intentional, you have to make that decision in your mind that, you know what, I'm going to choose peace in this situation. So eventually it starts internal, but eventually it might affect your external. But yeah, that's what I think, that peace is intentional and you make that decision.
That was beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, world? This is George Bijou, and I just want to say, like, I think it's internal as well, just because the world can be chaotic. We're not in necessarily control of what happens to us, but I feel in control of how I react to things. And the more things that I overcome, I realize that nothing can phase. Everything is working towards my rise. So that gives me my peace.
We love that affirmation. All right. Anybody else want to indulge into the explanation of internal, external? Go ahead. Don't be shy now.
Okay, I would say.
Who are you?
Oh,
Hello, everyone. My name's Kavana, Kavina's sister. I would say it's more. I would say it's more internal and external for peace, for me, because peace is actually, it starts within. It starts with something that you have to actually be intentional. Like one of you guys said already, like it's something that starts like intentionally with yourself. And yes, other things may happen outside, but it's what you do with it and how you react towards it.
Right.
So I definitely feel like it's both, but it's actually what you do with it, and it's like it starts with inside. So yeah.
Appreciate that. That was great. Okay, so we already know the difference between our internal and external piece and where we think majority comes from. Was there a time that you felt as if like you had to regain your peace? And how did that feel? If anyone feels inclined to answer that one. A time where you felt as if like you had to regain back your peace and you were in such like a chaotic situation, or you were in a place where people weren't understanding like your grounds of being isolated, or whatever the case may be, taking you out of your peace. Does anyone want to indulge into that? Give y'all a couple of seconds to think about that one. And don't be shy to answer. It's okay. Raise your paddle when you're ready. No, you can just raise your paddle when you're ready. You want to go? Okay. Huh? You can go. Okay.
Hey, it's Yana. So can you ask the question one more time?
When was a time that you had to feel like you had to regain back your peace?
Every day. People are people, and people will continue to be people. But I definitely work in a space where I have to, get my peace back every like second. I work with kids, work with adults, and it can be a lot at the times, but I have that time for myself to actually have that space where I can get my peace back. But again, people are people, so you have to. I feel like there's times where you have to like separate yourself from those people so that way you can get your peace back.
Right. How do you, when you are faced with those type of situations where people are invading your peace or your vulnerable space, how do you deal with that?
Just take the time to understand like who they are as a person and how they handle things, because everybody handles things differently. So I feel like being able to understand the different dynamics that people go through, people hold things differently than others. So me being able to have the understanding of like how my kids interact with each other, how they interact with me, how they disturb my peace or how they disturb each other's peace, like I'm able to differentiate like, okay, they're going through this and let me not take offense to this, or they went through something else. Like being able to understand people just helps me not take offense to things.
That's beautiful. I appreciate that. Thank you for that, Yana. Anybody else want to go ahead and give their input? Favor?
I want to tap in and say something.
You want to go ahead, B? Go ahead and tap in and say something.
This week has been hey, I'm B. I'm the co-host for Colorful Convo. Go, Vena. I just want to say this, like, again, this week up until our event has been crazy stressful, and I just feel like the universe was testing me left and right, because today is honestly a blessing. I'm like, okay, this is why I was tested so hard. But in those moments, I had to catch myself to find my peace, because I just feel everything being so disrupted inside. And I had to remember the 4 agreements, because growing up, I was never taught peace. We never really talked about those things. Everything was just like, provide, end of story. But I just feel like growing up, I had to understand what my peace was and where my body was reacting to certain situations. Saying the 4 agreements to myself in that book has really like changed my life in so many aspects. So I just repeatedly read that book and just say it aloud to myself daily.
That's a good one. Thank you. You really did bring a good point. When you feel disturbed, where do you feel it in your body? I know a lot of people feel it different ways, like they feel stressed and stuff like that. Is there anybody that ever experienced like when they're disturbed or I guess stressed out or whatever is not aligned with peace? Do you feel it in your body sometimes? Where do you feel it at? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. My name is Favor. Hey, being a girl. Where I feel it the most is literally in my forehead.
Your forehead?
Like every time or whenever I feel stressed out, I'm literally constantly like this, and it hurts
so bad.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad. But the thing that really gives me the most peace right now lately, because it changes, the gym.
The gym? Wow, I was gonna say exercising really does do it, because I'm in my studio, my mom's gym all the time, and that really gives me some type of clarity, like just to step away from everybody and be like, oof, okay, I'll be okay with the outside world in like an hour or two, if anything. But that's pretty much what mine is. Bree, did you want to go ahead and give your input? How do you regain back your peace? How do you claim it back if it's ever been taken away from you in a space?
Let's chat about it. What do I do? Oh, my name is Bree. Honestly, truly, I have to give credit to the Most High.
All right now.
I pray. I cry on my knees. I give it to him because I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So, my best friend is Jesus. My best friend is the Son of the Most High, and that's who I depend on.
When you depend
for
on
my light.
I do believe a higher power is important when you do want to. Thank you, Ashe, girl. Ashe, amen is lit. Okay, I do believe that the source. That was actually leading to my next question. Where do you find like your source comes from? Where do you gain that type of source of peace from? Whether it's from the Most High or doing a specific activity. If anybody wants to share that. D. Will, I see you looking down here. No, you go ahead. You already go ahead. Too late now, but we made eye contact.
I'm D. Will, like she just said. So where I gain my peace, you asked?
Where do you gain it? Where's the source that comes from?
What Bree, your name Bree, right? I'm saying, yeah, Bree. What Bree said, definitely from God. Definitely get on my knees and pray. Also being surrounded by your loved ones. That's how I regain it. For instance, you, Vena.
Don't make me cry, D. Will, please.
We talk every day, and days that you don't probably even notice. I be having bad days, or I'm damn frustrated. I get a call from you, and like that makes the day. We just be talking about anything, something dumb. So yeah, like I mean, I just gain it from just coming to places like this. This is peace right here. Being around you guys. The energy is great. Yeah, so just family, friends. And yeah, that's it.
We're grateful to have you in this space, D. Will. Thanks. Wow, what's this name right here? I'm not too sure. Would you want to speak? Monique, would you want to talk about where your source of peace comes from? Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Monique. I don't really know where it comes from. I can say that today getting here was very stressful because I'm pregnant, and my mom was all like, "It's hot outside. You shouldn't go." And I get mixed things from the doctor and then a boyfriend, and like different people are like, "You need to get out. You need to stay in the house." So for me, this is kind of peaceful, and I think the reason why I said externally was because just looking at the water, like something like that, will probably bring me peace. As sometimes I think internally, if you keep a lot of things in, or if you're in your head a lot, you have to get out. So I think that's the reason why I said externally. And sometimes I feel like my peace comes from just like getting out, seeing water, stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm glad. Look, now we placing in front of a whole big river, big lake. You got the wind at your back, at your face. You're painting. You're getting into it. Okay, cool. Kofi or Kayla, did you want to go ahead and talk about where your source of peace comes from? Okay. Or Yana could go ahead.
My answer is short and sweet. This is Yana again. My peace comes from my bed.
Your bed?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yana. I think that's very reasonable, if anything, because I myself like to be into my bed, into my space. I will say my source of peace comes from different variations of what y'all said. Being around friends, loved ones, family, being able to be by myself from the Most High, and especially my bed, because I really do, like I said before, love to sleep. I love to be with myself. I love to decompress and understand who I am each and every day. Not so much of like a very serious hardship on myself with self-reflecting, but understanding like, I'm here, I'm present amongst these people in this environment, and this is the type of area that I'm in with my life. So yeah, that's that. My next question was going to be, Kofi, go ahead.
Really?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
The question was, where do you think your source of peace comes from?
So, similar to what a few people said here, I also believe in Christ and feel as though he gives me peace that transcends understanding, human understanding. I'm a musician. I enjoy playing music. I think I find peace when I'm, playing the keyboard or just worshiping God and having an opportunity to not think about everything in the world. I also find peace when I put down my phone and not look at Instagram.
Yes.
I think,
yes.
Yeah, every post, some posts can be positive than the next. It's about someone losing their life, and then it's just too much. But yeah, God, and something that came to mind was something I read in the Bible. Was like, meditate on whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are pure. I'm paraphrasing. Whatever things are of good report, and the God of peace will be with you. So that's something
that's beautiful.
I try and remind myself of every day. Yeah. That's Philippians 4, verse 18 to 9. I'm for verse 8 to 9.
Now.
Before I came here, I just started getting into the Bible. I read Psalms 25, something like that. Thing said the Lord will give you a blessing of peace. I said yes. That's today. Okay. Anybody else?
Wow. Anybody else want to talk about that, or we can move on to the next question, which is, do you feel as if your peace is compromised? I know Yana had got deep into that, but do you feel as if like your peace is compromised very often? If so, how do you balance that out? Like, what do you do? Any coping skills? Any activities? I know Favor said the gym. Yana said understanding people.
I'm gonna tap in, and I like what Monique said because I'm true to water. I go to water to be with God, to just be in the presence of just like stillness. That line, that stillness is the move, like that Solange sang. I just find peace with the water, and because sometimes like things can get redundant if you do the same type of exercises to release over and over. Right. So it's like me getting outside, being a busybody. It's like just being in nature without my phone, like Kofi said. Like that will really just like freeze time and just recenter, regain strength.
I appreciate that. Anybody else want to talk about their skills, what they do in a compromising state of peace? You said what? It's
Favor here. I've been in plenty of situations where I felt like my peace was being compromised. And what I would typically do was just leave, just cut my losses. I mean, of course, yes, it's gonna hurt, but who do you care? Like who? No one's gonna take care of you. So if it's not, how can I say this? Yeah, if it's not benefiting you, there's no point of really wasting your time. And every friendship is literally it could be either for a season or for a lifetime. So that's just what it is. And if I feel like it's taking me out of my comfort, not comfort zone, but out of my peace, then I feel like, okay, you have reached your season, so it's time to go.
Right. How do you feel about that loss or that grieving process? Like, how does that look for you when you have to do that in order to maintain your peace or keep that? Because I know it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all, because when we do have to like cut people off or cut certain habits off, it really is a loss. It's a sense of grief. And when we think about it, it's like, how do I let this go? Some people don't have a problem with it, but then like later on they miss it or they try to go back to it, and it's kind of like you don't belong there anymore. So how do you deal with that sense of grief?
Honestly, it's been a long time coming because it's a lesson that God has always wanted me to understand. Like, whenever God, everything happens for a reason, and it's supposed to teach you a lesson. And if you don't learn that lesson, it's gonna happen again and again and again and again. That's kind of what kept happening with me. And I'm sitting here like, God, why does this keep happening to me? Like, I understand, like, you know, you gave me the tools to handle this, but it hurts. At this point, it's tough. So God yelled at me, and he said, and he called me. Well, he not called me, but he said it, you know. But he yelled at me. He said, I had to let that go because you put that friendship before me. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I heard you loud and clear. There's no like second guessing. Is that you? No, that's what it was. And when I and he said that, like, he said that I've been trying to teach this lesson for a long time. Like, I'm not from here. I'm Nigerian. So I was born in Nigeria and I came here. It's been tough, you know? So when you constantly keep going through something, the only way for you to really get back and be whole is by talking to God and reading your Bible. That's my way of really feeling at most peace. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Appreciate that. Does anybody else have any coping skills, any certain techniques, anything? Go ahead, Monique.
I also think music is also really good.
Music is important.
I feel like just going for a drive and putting on music that I want to hear when I'm in the car alone. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right. I remember one time I had to go in the car. I got real irritated about the situation. I just drove for like an hour. I'm serious. I came back. It was very well spent.
Yeah. Yo, this is Bijou. I just wanted to say that, like, what's your name, bro? D Will. Like, about just talking and communicating and just having conversation with somebody that you care about can truly help too. And when it's like you keep too much in, it tends to get bottled up. And I think I can only speak for myself, but as men, sometimes we try to have this like shield, like we're good, like, you know, we can get
I'm
through
okay,
it.
I'm
We're
fine.
gonna be all right. But
it's that pride, child. It's that
but,
pride.
you know, sometimes it will be good for that moment, but it'll come out in other ways, and that's when you know you truly didn't release.
Right.
So I feel like being in a loving relationship has helped me, because at least I can express myself in ways that, you know, I feel vulnerable, but in the right people.
Right. That's profound. That's powerful. That's great. Especially being in a loving relationship, and especially being around not even romantic. Even if it's romantic, platonic, with family members, it really does give us some type of sense of grounding. Because I do understand when I have conversations with my best friends, with my sister, with my partner, it really gives me some type of clarity, if anything. So that's beautiful. I wanted to ask now, where is everybody at with their peace currently? And it's okay if not everybody's at peace right now, because I know a lot of people like to be like, oh, I'm fine, everything's fine, you know, it's cool. If you're not fine for real, y'all, it's definitely okay not to be fine, but just the process of getting back to yourself. I like to call peace, like, you know, the way back home. How am I going to get back to home to me? How am I going to get back home to, like, you know, who I am and who I think I'm going to be, and the process of that. So if anybody wants to go ahead and chime in on their present day peace. Yes.
I feel like I'm at peace. I'm genuinely and definitely at peace after I cut some things off and started seeing life at from a different lens,
right?
And honestly understanding that everything else just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely at peace. Yeah.
I have to adopt that, because it's especially my best friend Yana. Yana actually has taught me, like, you know, some things are not that deep. They're not that deep as much as you may think they are. And we complicate a lot of things sometimes. And we make it like, oh, if I don't do this, I don't do that. It's pretty much your world and directed by whoever you believe in, your most high power. It's your world, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, this is some things they're going to lay out in front of you. So it's your duty just to be able to have some discernment about certain things, but then also understand, like, wow, I'm able to make certain choices on my own, depending on what I want. And it doesn't have to be as complicated as people may make it seem.
Yeah.
So that's a real good one. Thank you, Favor. Anybody else want to talk about their peace currently. I might just make everybody talk about their peace currently.
Well, everyone's eventually going to talk about their peace. Their painting.
Oh yeah, peace. No, late after we're done with the conversation.
Yeah, when you're done painting. Done-ish painting. Did you want to go?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I put it in front of your face.
Yeah.
Did I assume?
I think I have work to do on my piece, and what sis said right here about when God spoke to you and was just like, you put that friendship before me. I feel like I've had that thing happen in my ear, but now I actually got to do the work. So it's just like peace is on the other side of the work, and right now it's just like I be holding on to it like, wait, stop, I don't know. It's just like maybe I can make it peaceful over here, but it's just like, no, you gotta
let it go.
You actually not supposed to be doing that work. Like you supposed to be doing some other work, and then peace is on the other side of that. So I think that's where I am.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
I think I figured it out. Okay. Favor and Kayla helped me put it together. So I have been wrestling with my past life in New York up until this very year. I want to say right until up until like May or June, I've been wrestling with like missing it, longing for like my friendships.
Don't go back. Go ahead. But if I gotta do that extra voice in your head, don't go back.
No. I think it was just like, like that past self and just holding on to something that wasn't in my physical space anymore, and being so like, I'm not gonna feel at peace, or I'm not gonna feel whole if I'm not back in where like I blossom. But it's like, no, God's showing me like this event, second time in the DMV, I can bloom anywhere and be with people who like respect these type of spaces. Like it doesn't have to be your way. Just allow God to like show you what is great for you. So I just feel like I put that behind me to actually let go and like find the peace and the beauty in the DMV.
Appreciate that. Who wants to go? D Will, talk about where you at with your peace currently.
Where I'm at with my peace, I'm at peace. I'm definitely at peace right now. Maybe like 2 years ago, I wasn't. I was in mentally, I was, going through things, but right now I'm blessed to be alive.
Love to hear that.
Be around good people every day. So yeah, I definitely, peace is definitely is here within me, and that's it.
Appreciate you. Bree, how you feeling about your peace currently? Come on now, because you kept giving me the eyes.
Here you go, sis.
Thank you. Currently, today, I'm at peace. Could that change tomorrow or next week? Of course. If I depending on my mindset, if I am not focused on the present, if I'm focused too much on the future, or if I'm focused on too much in the past, my peace might slip. So then I have to remind myself who I serve. I have to remind myself I'm here to love, on humans and have brotherly and sisterly love for everyone, but we're not here to people please in a certain extent. So if you're not being treated accordingly or to your standards, it's okay to step away. It doesn't matter if that person has the same blood in your veins or not.
Right.
But that mindset, that took time. That took growth. That took God letting me know, like, look, I'm telling you to step away. When you gonna listen? You gonna keep doing what you want to do? All right. When you ready to step away, I'll be here. And here I am. Okay, God, I'm ready. How do I do it? Change the number. Stop talking to him. It's a million ways. Figure it out. Come to me.
Disconnecting yourself.
But just don't go back, because there's nothing there for you. So that's where my peace is at. Just learning how to stay present in the moment, not too much in the future, not too much in the past, and always call on my best friend. Always call on my Heavenly Father.
Okay, now.
And rely on that Holy Spirit, because, child, it's tricky out here in earth. This is the hardest test in the universe.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bree. Kofi, are you ready for your answer?
Thank you. I was actually going to say something similar to Bree. I think I can add to that. I would say decided not to compare myself and my life to
That's a big one.
to others. Yeah,
that's a real big one.
I found myself, well, at least when I recall, when I would compare myself, I don't know, it would either be hours or days without peace, like thinking that, having regrets, or thinking that, if I did it this way, I could do this, or if I, so comparison, leading to regret, leading to no peace. So now I would say I'm more in a peaceful mood, a peaceful state of mind, because I do have a lot of responsibilities, either at church or my family, and making the decision to check in with myself before I give myself
away
to others. Then I feel more at peace. And taking time. I went to the spa for the first time, I think.
What spa did you go to?
Ken Spa, the TikTok spa.
Because you definitely went there. Right? It's a good one. That one in Bali and Springs is amazing.
What's the other one?
Bali and Springs. Okay. It's in Virginia as well. It's somewhat similar, but it's a little different, if anything. Okay. So, but King Spa was my first one that I went to too. I had a glorious time. Okay.
Yeah,
that is peace. Going to the spa, it is. Yeah. I slept in the wooden room. I don't know. That one was real good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's good. Leave your phone,
Yeah.
What my brother say here, man, that doesn't come to our mind when we think of letting all the stress in ourselves out. We don't think of spa. We think of, different things. So that was productive. So anyway,
Thank you.
I want to hug the mic. Right, thank you.
Appreciate you. Monique, did you want to talk about your piece currently? Thanks. Appreciate you.
I think I always have to work on it. Especially with me being pregnant. It's like, if I'm stressed out, he's stressed out. And I feel like with the next generation coming, I kind of like owe it to him to kind of show him what pieces, because like Brittany said, I feel like for a lot of Black people, we don't necessarily grow up knowing what pieces,
right?
And so I feel like hopefully I can stay calm enough so I can lead by example, so he knows what pieces for him as well.
That's deep. Taking on that responsibility.
Well, can I ask you a question to answer? Being pregnant, is anyone ever telling you to keep your body centered?
Is anybody telling you to be centered with being pregnant?
I feel like I hear people talk about it, could the baby feel what you feel? Or,
not really. I feel like being pregnant is kind of difficult because people are always pulling you from left and right. It's kind of like, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, and it's contradictory.
Okay. Just like how you said earlier about going out and doing things. And
so I think for me, I just have to figure out it on my own. With a lot of stuff, I had to figure out a lot of stuff on my own.
Right.
Even though you had other people obviously been pregnant in your ear.
They
how you gonna say me?
Every pregnancy is different. And so that is very true. Because even if somebody else was pregnant and they came and asked me for advice, I would try to give the best advice that I could, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that will work.
That was gonna work for you. I appreciate that you finding that for you and yourself. So this is the part of the show where I get in your business a little bit. It's called the confession time. Okay, I'm gonna ask if you feel inclined. I'm gonna ask a question. Just circle around vulnerability and just presuming on whatever you want to answer. If you feel comfortable answering that, that's what I'm going to do. But my confession time question is, if you were living a lifestyle of ultimate peace, what would it look like? And are you currently working towards that? If not, what's stopping you? If you could see yourself having a lifestyle of ultimate peace, what would it look like? And are you currently working towards that? And if not, what's stopping you?
We're going to start here and everybody's going to go in a circle.
Because I'm trying to get in your business.
All right, so say one more time. I'm sorry. The first part. I know you said,
it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. Hold on. So currently, what would a life of ultimate peace look like for you? Okay. And then also, are you working towards that? If not, what's stopping you?
Okay, so with the first question, what ultimate peace would look like for me?
Yeah.
In a sense of just knowing myself, censoring myself for one. I don't know, right now, I would say I am in a process of self-awareness and peace. I'm actually actively doing that right now. As of right now, I am still in the process of growing. It is,
as everybody
it
is
a journey. So I'm still in the process of that. I will say there's nothing stopping me now. It's just the part of, on one side and just not missing the old version, but like being comfortable, having that same comfortability of having that same cycle that you was going through, and now it's just stepping out the comfort zone, actually growing. So that's the process I'm in right now, and just getting used to that and being okay with being uncomfortable sometimes,
right?
And knowing that that's where I start to evolve at. So.
Right, I definitely do feel that one because I be uncomfortable as hell. Thank you so much.
Thinking. You said what
was it, if you could live a lifetime of ultimate peace, what it would look like, and are you taking the steps to achieve that? If not, what's stopping you?
I guess just surrounding myself around good people, good energy. It's really about the energy because this physical body really means nothing. But just surrounding myself around good people, and just being private while being genuinely happy.
Being private.
I don't really have like too much to say, but it's just living my life day by day. Actually, just surrounding myself with good people.
And those are your steps that you feel as if that you're taking to be that.
I'm actually taking them. I've been doing it for a long time. It's still a journey. I'm still learning. And as we get older, we just continue to get wiser. So,
right. Thank you. Bree. Okay, look now. I know you forgot the question. Everybody's like, listen, they're like, yeah. And it's like, what is my answer? So the question is, if you could create like a lifetime of ultimate peace, what would it look like? And if so, are you taking the steps to achieve that now? And if not, what's stopping you? Okay, look, all right. The first one is focus on this first, and then we're going to flow into the next one. Focus on what does a lifestyle of ultimate peace look like to you?
I think a life.
I'm going to say put up to your mic, baby.
Oh, put up to
a little bit.
I think that looks like knowing myself to the fullest capacity, to where I know what I am offering to the world, knowing what doesn't serve me and what does serve me, gaining wisdom, because I feel like knowledge and peace isn't on like a scale. It's like it keeps going. Does that make sense? Like, it's not something you can measure. It's like infinity. Like it just keeps going. You keep working at it,
right?
Like, so I just feel like I just being as wise as I can, so I can make the best decisions for myself and others. Having a good relationship with my Heavenly Father, so He can give me that discernment, so I can know when to serve or when to step away.
Right.
Because we are in a world where, yes, we have these human bodies, but we're spiritual beings first.
Right.
So what side of the war are you on? Because I don't want to get trapped. and then I get pushed down, and I got to start from somewhere that I don't really want to, just because I was coming from a loving place. But if I had that wisdom, that discernment,
that would be that. So that's what your lifestyle you would want for ultimate peace, okay? And are you it does make sense for you? You're like, no, for real. And do you feel as if you're taking those steps? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. George, you want me to say the question again if you got it? Okay.
You gotta repeat yourself. I think everyone really had a piece of it in their comments. I think for me, like, it's about supreme just confidence in ourselves and what we were sent here to do at this particular time. And for me personally, it's just knowing that all of our gifts are special, knowing what I have to offer is special as well, and that the world needs it regardless of what's going on. I know we're sitting here right now, painting, but on the other side of the world, there's somebody out, like, dodging bullets and fighting wars. But I think that it's all necessary at a time. And like, that's one thing I always have to remind myself, like, as an artist, it's like we're needed, regardless of what we do with our hands, with our minds, with our words. It's important. And
so that's your lifestyle of ultimate peace and what you would like to have.
Yeah, just completely embodying that and being confident in everything that I present. Next week's a big week, personally, for me.
Okay, now what's happening next week?
So I'm going to New York for a vending show.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
It's going to be a good opportunity for me to put, Osawa on another map, and also be in a room with people who can change a situation, So I think that coming with that confidence is important. So I do believe that I'm working towards it, and every day I'm getting better.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. No problem. Yana.
Are we all going?
Yes, ma'am. You need me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good.
All right.
So for me, a lifestyle of peace consists of nothing. When I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. Like, I just want to, wake up and have nothing, like nothing to do. But I'll be also financially stable, like mentally stable, like just complete stability consisting of nothing.
Do you feel like you're working towards that every day?
I'm definitely working towards that. I wouldn't say every day because, I have things that come up, but I definitely am working towards that, like, in a sense of like my career, in a sense of like my space right now, like where I'm at, like with friends, family, all that, because all that plays a part into my nothingness.
Keeping it simple, girl. Keeping it simple. I love it. Thank you, Yana. Dima, go ahead.
Let's see. The answer to that is to be around good people and doing things that I love, and I'm doing that every day. So yeah, I am.
Good. Appreciate that.
I think for me, it's just being able to put myself in places and spaces where I don't have to compromise myself.
Yes. Okay.
So just wanting to be more of myself everywhere I go, whether it's like career or home or anywhere.
Thank you.
What's this said? No, dead ass. I was trying to figure it out. I was just like, what would put me at peace? Because I feel like there are so many unpeaceful factors of life, and it's just like, do you want me to say one thing? You want me to name it all, or do you want me to figure out what is the one thing that fits everything underneath the umbrella? As everybody was going around the room or going around the table, I think the one thing that specifically stuck out to me is if I could create freely.
Okay.
If I could just live a life to create freely and express freely, I think I'd be straight.
You'd be good.
I think I'd be straight. As long as y'all leave me the fuck alone.
As
long as y'all leave me the fuck alone, and I just get to create freely and be where I want to be with who I want to be with, and my family is straight. Like, I'm gonna be at peace. I mean,
what else you want to throw in there? What else you want to throw in there?
I mean, then I just started thinking about the world, because the world be pissing me off. And I do not be at peace when I open up my phone and see shit scrolling down the app. I don't be at peace when I watch the news.
Oh, absolutely not with the news.
So another part of my answer would be like, I think I would be at peace if I didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
I think I would be at peace.
It's giving me very much Yana too as well.
Yeah,
it's not anything, it's nothing.
Yeah, if I didn't give a fuck, I would be at peace. And I don't know if that's gonna ever go away. So I'm just gonna say, if I could create freely, if the things that bother me in the world, if those things still had to exist, but I had the opportunity to create freely based off of what it is that I see, and I am able to put that into the world, and then go in my own little corner in my own little chair with fruits and berries and flowers and dick.
Okay,
like,
hello.
I'd be straight. I'd be straight. Don't bother me. I ain't gonna bother you.
Right. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead, Kofi.
How do I follow that? I'm just kidding. Let me see.
What's a lifestyle piece look like for you? And are you achieving that?
Say lifestyle piece. My first thought was, being like self-sufficient, not having to worry about my needs and such. I think someone mentioned financial freedom, but I think I'm gonna go with living in my purpose. I feel like that will come with what I need to survive, and also having opportunities to care for the people I love and to provide for them. I think that's like a snapshot of what I feel peace would be like. Yeah.
Are you achieving that every day? You're working towards that every day, or do you feel as if something's stopping you in the middle of that one?
I think I'm working towards it every day. Some of the progress has been, some of the things I mentioned before, letting go of comparison and making sure I take time to love myself. And I know I keep quoting the Bible, but the Bible says one time, everyone says, "Oh, love others the way you love yourself." It's like that second part. If you don't know how to love yourself, how can you love others? So Jesus was on the self-care tip, so yeah.
The self-care
I'm just gonna drop the mic.
Thank you so much. No, for real. That was a good one. B, you want to go ahead and then?
How do I?
What does a life of alter?
Follow up.
I
get the question, but I'm over here like the follow up. Okay. I feel like everybody hit some very valuable points. Kayla hit me with the world, because I'm thinking about, is it just me, or is it like other things that affect my internal peace? Because the phone and seeing what is going on in the world and like tapping into like what's going on with my own people across the world makes me angry, and I wish I could just like shake the world and drop off the bullshit and just, like, let it be at peace in what peace means to me. But I like what Kofi said. I feel like my peace, if it had to be my way, would be to keep doing my purpose to help serve my community in ways that brings me so much joy, so I never stop, and that I build it so that it becomes a generational pattern and it never stops.
That's a good one. So that's great. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and give my input. Ultimate peace for me, golly, I just want everybody to be good. That's what I really like. I know it sounds very cliche. That's for me. That I think that it looks like for me, ultimately, okay, for myself, if anything, I will say for myself, I ultimately want to be stable. I want to be stable within my career. I want to be stable within like just the flowiness of creating, being able to be interpersonal with people, and then also just being financially stable. Being able to be loved in the way that I love myself, and vice versa for other people to, give that back to me in fullness. I do feel as if I'm working towards that every day, because I am very, very, very coherent of myself. Not so much of I can say I'm hard on myself a little bit, because I really don't like to make mistakes, and I got to beat that ego up because it's killing me, y'all. It's killing me. It's one situation that I have yet to achieve, or I'm achieving that goal that I have yet to achieve. And one of my mentors had told me, like, you know what, this is just beating you up. He said, I love how humble this is making you. I was like, oh, please just spare me that. But ultimately, I do feel as if I'm working towards that every day, because I am learning myself more. I'm learning the stages of myself more. I'm not so closed off from thinking like, okay, Vena 2 years ago was okay. We could bring Vena from 2 years ago to like right now, and that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. I can't bring my old self to the present self right now, because some aspects don't serve me. And I think that's the main bigger picture for me, like what serves me, and that ultimately brings me my peace. So yes, Ashe. So thank y'all. This is going to conclude the our podcast portion, and we're going to get into y'all explaining y'all paintings and pieces on peace, okay? And then we're going to get up out of here. So I really do appreciate y'all. I'm Vena. the mama and the host of the Confession Corner, and we are out. Peace, y'all. That was lit.